Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Road to Indy TV. I'm your host, Tony Laporta, joined by MRTI insider Rob Howden. This weekend, we're in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's Memorial Day weekend, which means time for the Freedom Races here in Indiana.
Well, it's the world's greatest race course, and for the Indy Lights drivers to be able to get on this racetrack on Carb Day in front of 100,000 people, this is the race for 2018 for every Indy Lights driver.
And then you talk about Pro Mazda and USF 2000 drivers taking to their first oval race of the season. Heck, some of them making their first oval race in their careers, Rob.
I think that's a big thing, Tony. First time ever on an oval, and this isn't an easy oval either. You know, they're running on the walls around this place. We've got some Europeans that have never ever tried oval racing before. For them, jumping into the deep end of the pool.
So as always, the weekend here in Indianapolis was a lot of fun, and we're going to take you through it step by step. On today's episode, we spend a little bit of time getting to know the drivers and their helmets a little bit better. I challenge Kyle Kirkwood to another eating competition, and Rob takes us deeper inside the Mazda Road to Indy as we learn all things junior open wheel racing. So we're going to get to it on another episode of Road to Indy TV. So with the first oval race of 2018 upon us here in Indianapolis, Indiana, we're going to spend a little bit of time getting to know the drivers and the preferences of their helmets, what went into the design, and why they choose to wear the helmet that they do. So we're going to head over to Lucas Oil Raceway Park in Brownsburg, Indiana, as well as spend a little bit of time here at the new Bell Helmet Shop on Main Street in Speedway, Indiana, learning about these drivers and the helmets they choose to wear out on the track. So one of the Bell Helmet athletes competing this weekend in Indianapolis, Kyle Kirkwood. Now, Kyle, I've always admired your helmet through karting, and here on the Mazda Road Indy, it's really unique. Just talk to us a little bit about what went into it.
This is a design that I've had for a few years now. This is actually the second edition of this, and with this helmet, I did the 8 ball on the top, as you can see.
Well, yeah, it's painted by Art Infinity in Brazil. And then it's just pretty straightforward. I mean, I kept the background black and then just do the orange stripes to kind of do a match over it. And then, of course, the Brazilian flag because I'm from Brazil.
Well, this helmet is probably my favorite helmet that I've had. Of course, all of them are Bell because to me, the Bell helmet just feels like a sock. Anytime I put it right, just don't feel right. So this is obviously very comfortable. I have the colors. I have like a blue, orange, black. Obviously my 2 flags, American and Lithuania. The colors I've had ever since I started racing. It was from my first helmet design, and now ever since that we've kind of just added more to it, kind of as like more modernized.
So I first came out with this design in I think 2012. Sensport Graphics and he's from Boise area as well, so we kind of had a conglomeration of ideas that went into it. But first off, I had the kind of crown of thorns look to it, and also the Godspeed is kind of my signature line that I like to have on all my helmets, just to kind of represent my faith. And also on the back, right here, we have John 3:30, which is my favorite Bible verse. And yeah, I chose the fluorescent yellow just because my mom wanted me to be able to be seen on the track, and so now she can see me while I'm out there.
This week's challenge is going to be a no-hands eating competition between USF 2000 championship point leader Kyle Kirkwood and I. The plan was to go get some donuts. That's turned into dessert here at Barbecue and Bourbon. And Kyle, this was pretty much your idea, so are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm not too confident on my idea, to be honest. This is gonna be tough. I'm looking at this now after we just ate, so it's gonna be hard.
Good luck.
All right.
It's stuck to the plate.
I'm giving up. Come here. You're weak. You're a weak person. Do I have a napkin? So, I think,
yeah, I'm definitely not the winner on this one. Unfortunately.
Well, it feels good to get back to the top step of the podium. I don't ever want to do that again. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you. Thank you.
So while we have had so much fun here in Speedway, Indiana during the month of May, the real reason we're here, Rob, is of course the on-track racing. And when you look back on this weekend, it's been a phenomenal on-track product. Let's start at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, USF 2000 competing in the Cooper Tires Freedom 75.
Yeah, the youngest drivers in the Mazda Road to Indy, some of them just 16 years of age. But we saw some great racing, Tony. Not surprisingly, Cape Motorsports strong again with Kyle Kirkwood, but with 21 drivers in the field, you go all the way through and you saw a lot of these young competitors that really had solid performances.
Yeah, it was very interesting to watch that many cars on such a short track, but the Road to Indy, all about preparing these drivers and putting them on an oval like that, I think did wonders for a lot of these drivers' advancement.
Well, we knew Cape Motorsports was going to be strong, Kyle Kirkwood showing how good he is, but I think Pabst Racing stepped up as well.
Yeah, Pabst Racing coming away with the other 2 steps on the podium, but Kyle Kirkwood scoring the win, and that should solidly hand him the point lead heading into June.
You know what? More confidence as well. He was able to win on the road course here in Indianapolis, then he backs it up with a win at Lucas Oil Raceway. Kyle's going to go to Road America with a real good feeling about his team and about his chances to win this championship.
Now we move to the next step, the Pro Mazda category. They ran the Cooper Tires Freedom 90 at Lucas Oil Raceway Park Friday night. Not as big of a field, but still great racing.
Yeah, 12 drivers in that second level of the Mazda Road to Indy. Parker Thompson stepping up for Exclusive Autosport. But once again, it was one of those late race deals where he's closing up on lap traffic. He got passed a couple of years ago by his teammate Anthony Martin and then did not go on to win the championship. He got chased by Carlos Cunha from Juncos Racing. Parker just able to eke this one out.
And a little bit of attrition in that Pro Mazda race where we saw championship contender Harrison Scott get tangled up. Certainly not the result he was hoping for.
Yeah, the contact between Harrison and David Malukas coming out of turn number 4 changed both of their fortunes for the season. Harrison was not happy at all. They'll have to rebound when they head to Road America.
And then we move here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the world's greatest race course, the Freedom 100. What a great race. We saw 8 drivers do battle, and it set records all across the board.
Every year, that race is the one we always want to watch. 100,000 people here on Carb Day, 8 drivers in the field, 24 lead changes at the Yard of Bricks. That's a new record. But wow, the racing was tremendous, was it not? Coming to the very end, 4 drivers with a chance to win.
Yeah, certainly some ebbs and flows in that race, but I think that Carb Day crowd had to be entertained. Don't you agree?
Well, you know what? The racing we had, 2 wide, 3 wide at a time, they all felt so comfortable out there. And I think when you talk to Colton Herta, he was letting that race come to him. He was trying to learn what the other drivers were doing, where he was stronger, where they may have been weaker, and he really was able to capitalize.
And speaking of comfort, Colton Herta feels very comfortable now at the top of the point standings in Indy Lights.
He came in 1 point behind Pato O'Ward. He leaves with a significant lead, but Pato's still there. And you know that he's got a lot of confidence going to Road America.
So as we've looked back on all of our races this weekend here in Indianapolis, we know that it's been fun, we know that it's been helpful to these drivers, and we know that we're setting up for a very exciting second half of 2018. What is the greatest thing you've done outside of a race car?
Oh, actually, I can do a backflip on the ground.
Can you do that right now?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is gonna be great. Let's see it. This is live. Norman getting ready with the flip. Oh, that was sweet. What's the greatest thing you've done outside of a race car?
Having a good family.
Having a good family.
Yeah. And I miss my family because I'm living here alone. So probably after motorsport, probably after Indy Lights or whatever, it's my family. So that's the greatest thing that I have.
When you're not in a race car, what gives you a headache?
Oh, that is a good question. Probably sometimes when I spend a bit too much time playing Fortnite.
That gives you a headache?
Yeah.
I don't get Fortnite.
I mean, it's a lot of hours, dedication.
Cleaning up my room.
You don't like that?
No. Except I'm not home much, so I don't have a headache often. But still, cleaning up my room is not my favorite thing. Having to wait.
Having to wait?
Yeah.
You're not very patient.
I mean, yeah, but like waiting like unnecessarily for like a long amount of time, like I just don't like that.
Something that really bugs me.
Running out of sunscreen?
Portion sizes.
What do you mean portion size?
Whenever you get a salad and it's like a bucket and you're trying to, like, for example, whenever you go into Applebee and you get a big salad, it's like a bucket and you're like, man, is this for the 3 of us or what? And you're like, you kind of have to think about it strategically about like how you're going to position the food that you like on the plate most. That's what really bugs me, actually.
I'm Rob Howden, the Mazda Road to Indy Insider. As always, so much going on here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As I worked my way through the paddock, having to talk to some key people, I saw Nelson Mason, a driver I talked about at St. Petersburg. He's a young Canadian with a lot of European experience, really wants to get into the Indy Lights program with Team Pelfrey. They're putting the funding together right now. We expect to see him on the streets of Toronto in his home country, but he would also like to get on track at Road America in June to see if he can get some seat time before heading to the streets. In addition, a couple of drivers not racing here this weekend. Very disappointing to not have Jamie Caroline in his BN Racing USF 2000 car at the Carbonite Classic. Family emergency at home. He was here in Indianapolis, but had to fly home immediately to take care of the family. Two other drivers not here, but not overly surprised. Sabra Cook and Michael D'Orlando not here for Team Bennick, as they are looking to try to keep putting together their funding for 2018. The oval at Lucas Oil Raceway, always precarious. If you have a wreck, it's often going to be a big one. They elected not to run at the Lucas Oil Raceway Carbonite Classic, the Freedom 75. They'll look forward to being back on track at Road America at the end of June. And to cap off this segment of The Insider, let's talk about this weekend at Indianapolis. It's all oval, no road course. The USF 2000 and Pro Mazda drivers running at Lucas Oil Raceway. They're learning this discipline. It's so unique. It's not like road course racing. It's something absolutely in and of itself. Now, one of the big things they have to deal with is the spotters. There are the eyes and ears of these young drivers as they're out there pounding around the banks of the 5/8 mile oval. You go to that spotter stand, though, and you're going to see some pretty cool names. Sebastian Saavedra, multi-time starter in the Indianapolis 500. And speaking of the 500, many of the spotters who will work with those drivers in the IndyCar Series here on Sunday also work with the young drivers in the Mazda Road to Indy. One in particular I find pretty interesting as well, Aaron Telitz. Been around the Mazda Road to Indy for many years. A winner in USF 2000, a winner in Pro Mazda, and 2 times a winner last year in Indy Lights. He was there on the spotter stand as well, making sure that his driver knew exactly what was happening on the racetrack.
So unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and that is the perfect descriptor for another fantastic Memorial Day weekend here in Speedway, Indiana. Rob, whether it was the Freedom 75, the Freedom 90, or the Freedom 100 here at the Speedway, it has been a phenomenal weekend.
I just like seeing these young drivers take on the challenge that is oval racing. It's not easy, it's tough to get used to. They really have to kind of suck it up and get at it. We saw 3 really deserving winners.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Oval racing sometimes gets a bad rap, but this weekend we were entertained thoroughly by all 3 rungs on the Mazda Road to Indy, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, the racing was fantastic, and you're right, they have to learn this. If they want to go to the Verizon IndyCar Series, you have to get good on the oval.
So it's been a great month of May here in Speedway, Indiana. We now get ready for a short month off before the series returns to arguably the most beautiful racetrack on the circuit, Rob, Road America.
Yeah, we start to get close to the middle half of the season as well. Championships start heating up. And for some of those European drivers, Road America, more like a track that they would know across the pond. So they'll be quick there as a fantastic facility.
It's been called America's Nürburgring. We call it the National Park of Speed. We can't wait to head to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, coming up next. For everyone at Road to Indy TV and Rob Howden, I'm Tony Laporta saying we'll see you down the road.